Good evening, students. So today, let's begin with this topic on UI design. So after we complete the wireframes, we'll be moving to UI design. Let me begin with a simple question like, what was the last app or website that frustrated you? Maybe like, what kind of things that made you frustrating? Can anyone volunteer to answer this? Okay, it could be poor layout, or it could be confusing icons that are not recognizable by the users like us, and it could also be hard to read kind of text. So the fonts that they have used might not be easy for us to understand. Okay, so these could be the possible uh, things that would frustrate us when we are using that application, and this connects to the topics that we will be discussing today. So by the end of this session, you'll be able to answer, you'll be able to understand the fundamental UI design principles, recognize good with what is poor design choices in real user interfaces, and we'll also be able to apply the basic layout, typography, and iconography principles. So by that way, we'll be able to create more intuitive user interfaces. Okay, so these could be the session objectives for today's class. Let's move to layout. So here, so it's like an invisible structure that will organize the content. The way we show the information in an app or a website, it's so important when it comes to UI UX design. So how are we going to display the information? We know what information that we need to provide in this particular login screen and the sign up screen. What are the information that we are going to display will be decided in the UX phase, that was in the research and the other stuff that we discussed in the previous classes. Okay, but how are we going to arrange that information in this uh, first sign up page? Okay, that will be decided in the UI phase. So in the UI, we'll be having to calculate the space, like how much space do we need to leave for these elements, and how are we going to make it consistent and understandable for the users. Are we going to group the similar things together, and how is the spacing going to be different for the different things, right? So we need to pay attention to consistency. The same kind of buttons must be used uniformly throughout the entire application. Like if it's going to be primary button, then the same kind of primary button should be used in the entire application. So uh, the rule is going to be the same for each and every screen, and this kind of grid system, like we need to place a grid or a column with the margin and padding. Why is it important? Because it can create consistency, alignment. So see the alignment here, the spacing is 50 between the top to the uh, place where the image is center aligned, and from the image till the input fields again 50 uh, is the spacing that they've left. So the same applies for the below. No? Why is it important? Because it is creating alignment, and it gives a professional appearance. Okay, and then we'll move to the visual hierarchy. So when it comes to visual hierarchy, there could be the principles like size, color and contrast, spacing and position. Okay, when it comes to size, first the larger elements will usually draw attention first, like the title. See here, the title could be given more emphasis, because the font will be bigger. So this will draw attention first, and the images that are in larger size, even those things could gain more attention. After that, it could be color and contrast. Like high contrast creates focal points, and visual hierarchy is about how we look at designs. Does it sound weird? So let's put it in another way. We as designers should put ourselves in user's shoe in order to realize how they see our designs. So we need to empathize with the users. So as a user, what kind of information will they actually look forward in the application? What should they actually find it more important? What element should be given more importance in this particular page? Think from the user's point of view. Okay, in that way, arrange the content. So as a user in the product detail page, like let's take an example of Mintra. Okay. Mhm. I think network is slow. Okay. So I'm going to this page, and then I'm seeing the product listing. So this is going to be the product listing page, because I've clicked on a particular category that is contraire. So in this, all the products that is whatever content products are available, it's showing me the list. In that, I'm able to see what are the best sellers, what is featured, and then apart from best sellers also I'm able to see some of the products. Okay, so in this, as a user, think from the user's perspective. As a user, what information will I need in order to buy that particular contour product? Okay, so I'll have to look for what is best selling, what are most of the people buying. That one I'll first look for. So that is why bestseller tag is added. And I look for the brand, because based on the brand only I'll be able to figure out whether it will work for me or not. So that is most important. So owing to that emphasis, we are also placing the brand in the top of the filter, because the filter is arranged in such a way what the users will want to discover first in this page. Okay, and also here, even in the title itself, we are having the brand name as well. Along with that, what is the feature of that particular product is also mentioned. It is K Beauty, which is the brand. Contour stick, this is stick, and this is multi slayer stick. This is contour and highlight duo. So whatever is included, the highlight of the product, that is mentioned in the uh, title. So what is the best uniqueness of this product is mentioned in the title. And then we are able to see the price and the discount for that price, because that is the deciding factor which the user will take an action whether to buy this product or not, and also how many people have bought this product earlier. That is the number mentioned over here. It is 255 people have bought and reviewed. It's not the number of people who have bought, but reviewed, because that's why the grouping rating is also mentioned over here. Okay, so these many people have rated, and also it automatically means that it it has been sold those many times. Okay, and on hovering this, like when I keep my mouse over this, I'm able to see preview shades and favorite icon. And also if I don't hover, I'm able to see how many shades are there within that itself. So I can click on this, like I can just click on preview shades. It shows the card flip. In the same card it is flipping and then showing me two shades. When I click on this particular shade, it shows that it is selected, and it's showing me what color it is along with the price difference. So if it's going to be different price, it will also reflect over here, but if it's going to be the same price, then it's going to be the same. You can either make a decision whether to add to cart or view details, but without previewing shades I can't add to cart because I'm having options over here. But when it comes to this card, we can directly add to bag. So you understand now, right? So in the IA, like in the information architecture, these things we should have done, we should have grouped. Okay, we'll get an idea, better idea of how this product listing page is going to be. uh, okay, so with those information in the IEA, we are going to design this page in the UI phase. So in the, after the wireframe, we would have got a better idea of how the actual final product would be. And then now we are proceeding with the UI. So we have a complete idea, overall structure, layout of how these things are going to be in the website. So we are giving the importance for the title because it is also highlighting the uniqueness of this product, and also the MRP rate is important for the users to decide whether they want to go this or not. And what is important other than that, we they'll also have to quickly understand how much percentage of offer it is. So we are also mentioning the percentage of offer it is. And so see the color, how they have used. MRP should have less emphasis. So it's in the lighter, like it's regular font type, and we are having a semi bold or medium kind of font for the price, and title goes in the same way. We are just increasing the size of it because of its importance. And we are having the primary shade preview shades, and then for add to bag as well, we are again having the primary shade because that is the important action which the user can take. And view details, they can either go to that page in order to view additional information about that. Okay, so that's how visually we'll be organizing from the most to least important. What grabs the user's attention first, that one will have more uh, priority. So usually what the users will be doing in the application is that they'll not be reading each and everything, rather they will be scanning. Like we need to design for the scanning behavior only. See in this page, just by scanning the information, like just by having a glance over each and everything, we are able to understand what action do we need to take. Because enjoy complimentary gift, we know by ordering this we can get a complimentary gift, though the pricing and the brand is premium, still we'll be convinced to buy this. Okay, because it's also 5-star rating, right? And see what all products will have this kind of complimentary gift. Okay, so we need to design for the user's scanning behavior. So also we can see that the white space, the background space is not wasted space, rather it's only going to give a clean and minimal design view. We should give some white space as well in the design. It should not be all cluttered, like all together. And if you want to see how much they've given the spacing and all, you can just inspect, right? Like an inspect, so you'll be able to see that. So click on this. So here, once you click on this, select an element in the page to inspect, you'll be able to see what color they've used, what is the font size, that is 14 pixels is the font size that they have used for the desktop version of product listing page. And for this the MRP rate, what they've used the same font size, but it is in different, it's in the different, the color is also same, but what makes a difference is the font weight. Okay, and then you will also be able to see the contrast, uh, like how is it going along with the background. So what kind of icon size they have used? It is 14 into 14 pixels. Okay, it is SVG format. So this way you can inspect in each every website. And if you want a mobile version, you can click on this, would be for the tablet version. So you can switch between the different devices to see how it will be. Okay, so you'll get a better idea on how to make these visual hierarchy happen in the your design. Okay, what kind of common mistakes will we be having when we are designing? Maybe something like we would like to center everything, but if we are centering everything, then it will create a weak hierarchy. And if the spacing and alignment is inconsistent, like you are giving sometimes 44 pixel space between one element, and sometimes you are giving only 16 pixels, but if it's for the grouping purpose, then it's fine. But if not, then it will create some kind of inconsistent spacing and alignment. Okay, see here, even we have discussed like the size. So if it's in the larger size, then it will gain more attention and it will attract the users. For brighter colors will be noted more than the muted colors. So even when it comes to choosing the colors, we'll be able to choose based on the priority only. So if it's some kind of important information, we'll be using the primary color. That's why we are using the primary color for the important CTA, like submit, add to cart, those things. Okay, and alignment, an element with a different alignment of others will attract more attention. So sometimes there could be differences in the alignment. uh, it will be left aligned, and if one particular image is right aligned, then it will have more emphasis. Sharply contrasting colors will catch the eye easily, so we'll have to use the contrast colors as well, because it will be eye catchy. And to show some important information also, we can do that. Proximity is where the elements will be closely placed together. So this is also coming under the grouping only. If the elements are grouped together, then we know it is new stories. If these elements are grouped together, we know this is one group, which is new promotions. Okay, so see the spacing between these, you need to give some spacing, so that we know like this will be minimal design, and we need to give some breathing space for the design. Only then it won't look cluttered. How you can compare these both? Without spacing it looks like this. So we need to give white space between the elements, so that it will gain more attention from the users. So we should not be repeating the styles, whatever cards that we have used, the rectangles that we've used for new promotions. If we are repeating the same kind of rectangles for new stories as well, then the user might think that the content is also same. So you need to think from a UI designer perspective as well. New stories na usually வந்து இன்ஸ்டாகிராமில் ஸ்டோரிஸ் ஹவு வி ஆர் ஹேவிங், அண்ட் ஈவன் in a few other applications as well, I'm not sure if it's there in, yes, in Snapchat. So usually the users will have that kind of familiar concept in their minds. If it's stories, then it's going to be like this. If it's profile picture also, it's going to be like this, rounded. So we should not be repeating the styles again and again, so that it could misinterpret in the user's mind that it is going to be the same content like the before section. Okay. And visual noise, as you can guess from its title, it's all about a screen or a part of the digital product which has so much information and many elements on it. So it could have so much of information and elements in that, like let me visual. It could refer to the some kind of cluttered elements. Okay, so if there are too much information, then it's going to obviously stop the user's focus, and it could also negatively impact their overall user experience. Okay, uh, maybe it could be something like using a lot of fonts, excessive colors, or excessive patterns. Okay, so what happens if we are using a lot of colors in the application? Then it would be difficult to read and understand. So we need to minimize and reduce the visual noise. Like it should be more aesthetically pleasing. Like it should be a pretty UI screen, and it should also have the functional interface. Only then it will have the user delight and user satisfaction. What are the things that could cause visual noise? It could be something like a cluttered interface, like cluttered layout. It can confuse the users and make it difficult to find what they need. Okay, yeah, visual. See this example. So in this, you could see that there are too much of information in it. Like there is an advertisement or a video going on in the left side, and then there are too much of categories in the middle, and there are too many uh, text and images on each of the section. So it's also highly detailed. So the title is going on. So what happens? Why is this kind of visual noise happening? Because of the cluttered layout. There are too many overloaded elements. This could actually confuse the users, and it will be making the users difficult to find what they actually want. And also there could be sometimes the use of excessive typography, like using too many fonts or styles. So that could also create some kind of problems, and it will be difficult for the users to read. Sometimes there could also be distracting animations or this kind of videos. So overuse, or sometimes having this on top of the product cards, could divert the user attention from the main content. And there could also be some complex backgrounds that can compete with the primary elements, and it will also make the design less clear. So we should not be using too many elements, like a large number of buttons. Repeated buttons should also not be there. But when it comes to this interface, there are no buttons. It should not be also in like that. So how can we reduce the visual noise? Is that we need to use a clear and consistent color palette. Okay, the first thing is color palette. We need to choose a limited set of colors that will actually work together and create a cohesive, like a continuous and a uniform look for the entire product. And we need to limit the number of fonts. There should be limited fonts only. Even the styles that we are going to use, it should be clean and readable design only. So we need to use ample of white space, so that it will create a sense of air and balance in the entire page that we are designing. And we need to organize the layout, like we need to group the similar elements together and make use of the visual cues to guide the user's eye. We can even consider using animations sparingly, like highlighting the important information or to provide feedback. Okay, so you understand what is visual cue. Sorry, visual noise. And we are moving to iconography. So um, iconography is a visual language used to demonstrate aspects, content, or functionality. So, during which, what are the kind of situations where we'll be using icons? Anyone? So, if the users want to recognize, like they want to do some action immediately, if we are using some kind of recognizable icons, then they'll be able to take that action easily. So it's going to be some kind of visual elements that will be easily recognizable by the users. Okay, we need to use the universal symbols, like we need to use the established conventions kind of icons, maybe some kind of hamburger menu, indicating that it is a menu which is present in the application, or it could be shopping cart. And what are the other familiar icons? Help and location for store. So cart, we obviously know how it is. Search. So these are the more familiar kind of, yes, notification icon as well. Message, notification, these things. So we need to make use of the established conventions only. for when it comes to the universal symbols of for providing some clarity and recognition in icons. And also we need to make sure it is consistent. Consistency comes in the terms of same style, weight, style, and size throughout the interface. So if you are picking one kind of icon, then it should be in the same style. Like this is outlined icon. Once you are choosing this in 16 into 16 or 24 into 24 pixels, then you need to use the same kind of icon in this all the instances in the entire application. Okay, so icons should make sense in the user's environment, so they should be able to quickly understand that this is going to be home screen, this is going to be the search screen. So we should be using the uh, icons that are more familiar with other applications as well, by considering other applications as well. Where can we get these kind of icons? We can use the plugins, or we can go to noun project. This is where we can find the icons. I want shopping cart, so I'm searching for it. Okay, so I'm getting the shopping cart icons. So if I'm going to go along with the filled icons, then I'm going to pick this. And in an e-commerce website, if I also want to add a notification, once I pick this shopping cart and filled icon, I'm going to pick notification. So I'm choosing notification. That should also be filled. So they are also having the icon set, so it's going to follow the same consistency. E-commerce, let me search for this if they have any icon pack. So if I get an icon pack, then I can just reuse the entire thing from this set itself. So they are not having consistent icons in this. Maybe if this will set, I'm not sure. They have a 153 icons in this. I'm just clicking on it. Oh, it's paid. So what we can do is, we'll go to Figma, and I'm going to uh, I'm going to community and then searching for this e-commerce icons. Okay, so I'm getting a full pack in this. So I'm searching based on how many people have downloaded, used it, most popular. Okay, so this is dashboard UI, this is free icons. I want for e-commerce. Okay, I'm picking this e-commerce. So in this icons page, I'm getting all the icons. I'm having both uh, outlined stroke icons and the filled icons. So this one I can use for a hamburger menu. And if they want to edit something, I can use this. Symbols also they have again icons. So have they are having only limited icons. So if I don't want this, I want to switch to something else, I can even search for that in the community and uh, download that. Okay, otherwise what we can do is just uh, right clicking and then going to plugins, manage plugins, uh, search for Ming cute icons and then select that. So from this, whatever icon you want, you can get it. Okay, filled or stroke. Search. See, you're getting. Okay, in this way also you can do. But you can use a noun project if you want a single icon you want to download and then have it in the application or the website. Even that you can do instead of downloading entire pack. Or if you want, you can go to free pick and then download the icons. Okay, that is also possible. So these are some of the resources where you can make use of the icons. So icon sizes that will usually be 16, 24, 32 pixels. Okay, it depends on the different contexts that we are designing. So these are in the components. um, so icon will usually be in a component. So here you can see it's in uh, 24 into 24 here in the width and height both should be 24 into 24. So for example, I'm just going to the plugin and then adding this. Okay, it's in this 24 into 24 pixels itself. So if I am going to choose from noun project for a single icon, I'm going to click on attribution required, get this, download SVG. Only SVG we need to use. If it's PNG we can't change the color also. So it is downloaded and I'm just going to okay, place image. So that SVG image has been dropped over here. So this is too large. So I'm just taking this outside the frame, deleting this, and then I want to make it in 24 into 24 pixels only. But I can't make the entire icon in that size because each icon will be in different shape because the sides, the sides will be different for notification and shopping cart or search. So we can't make everything in the same 24 into 24 size. So what we want to do is we need to click on the frame and then make it 24 into 24. Okay, I'm making in this size. I'm selecting this icon and then clicking on K. So here I'm typing as 24. Now it's in that size. I'm just dragging and dropping over here, but it's too large. So what we need to do again, I'm just making it as 16. So I'm just holding shift and then selecting the frame. So making it aligned to the center and then hiding the color. So now this we can use in the uh, mobile screen. Understand? So it's always better to pair the icons with the labels when the meaning is not so obvious. So if the users can't identify it quickly, then we need to add some text for that icon so that it will be easy for the users to identify what icon it is. We can even use material icons, that is also one established icon library, rather than creating the icon from the scratch. Okay. And also icons have different meanings. For example, you know those things like checkbox. Checkbox can be used for multiple selection, and radio button will be used for single selection only. So I guess you are um, good to go with these basic concepts. And now let's see the typography. So here the core typography principles, it begins with the font selection. So we need to understand when to use uh, which font. Like we should be using serif font if it's going to be traditional and readable for long text, and we'll be using sans serif font if it's going to be modern and we want clean for the screens. Okay. No, for one particular application, we should go for only 2 to 3 font families. Okay, maximum only that needs to be there. We should not be using too many fonts or too many colors. When we are picking the font, we need to consider the accessibility and readability as well. See, you are having the font outfit. Okay, so in that I'm typing the numbers. But here in the outfit font, one number one looks like this. It looks like 7 sometimes. So we need to pick the font that will be going along with both the numbers and the font, and the alphabets.
Ma'am, the screen not visible.
It just got stopped sharing right now or from the beginning.
Right now only it got stopped, ma'am.
Okay. So we need to pick the fonts that goes same for the numbers as well as for the alphabets. So here one seems to be like 7, so we should not pick this font. So while picking the font, we need to be aware of this. And we should consider the typography hierarchy, like the headings, what size are we going to use for the headings, and what size will be for heading 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we need to establish the clear size in relationship for the headings. And for body text, the comfortable reading size would be 16 pixels for the web. Okay. And for captions, it will be smaller than this. mm. So if you want to generate this kind of design system, what you need to do is go to plugins, manage plugins, and then I'm not sure if I've already used, but there is a plugin called Identify. Click on this. So by using AI, it is generating the design system entirely. So it's asking about the app that we'll be designing for. Maybe the landing page. It's okay. So we want some kind of pastel colors for the landing page, and it needs to be okay, luxurious. So personalizing according to what kind of design system we'll be wanting for. It's generating the entire design system starting from the typography, colors, grid layout, and the buttons that we'll be using. So a complete end to end. Okay. What font we'll be using. So everything. The colors got. I got the colors and the typography. That is, it's going to be 72 pixels line height, and the font size is 48. That is for heading 1. Heading 2, it's going to be 40 pixels. So the entire thing about the typography spacing. That is the corner radius again. So for the cards, what kind of corner radius we'll be leaving, it is going to be sharp. The stroke size. Okay. So you got the entire design system generated instead of doing the manual work. So you got the entire design system generated here by using the plugin Identify. So you saw how I used that plugin, right? So during that time the screen was visible, right? Okay. just run that plugin, or right click and then install run that plugin. You will be able to generate the entire design system. So what fonts will we using? So this you can add it to the library over here. That maybe we will see in the next class, but this is how you can generate the entire design system for a complete end-to-end project. But it's not required for each and every project that you're working. So if it's going to be a small project that you're working, you don't need an extensive design system like this. So if it's going to be some kind of not only retainer project, but if it's going to take you so long for you to complete that entire project, then we'll need the design system like this. These will be the colors. So see how they are using the colors, the primary colors. So one color they are using for primary and the shades of that color itself. The secondary also goes in that way. If we are using the accent color, we can, and the neutral colors, it will come obviously for each and every project that we'll be working on. Neutral, error, warning, success, these are mandatory in every project that we'll be working. Okay, so we want to show some success state, then it will obviously be in green color. And for the error messages, like if the input that we have given is wrong, then we'll show it in the red color only, right? So that's how you can generate the design system using AI. And it's good that we are avoiding the pure black, like hash 000. Instead of using the pure black color or pure white color, it is always recommended to use uh, kind of this shade, like 3. Okay, instead of 0 we can use 3. And instead of pure white, sometimes we can use a lighter shade in that white itself. And we need to test on the actual devices. So if we are working on the mobile design, then you need to use Figma Mirror. You can install that application in your mobile. Okay, once you are done with that, no, once you are working on that design itself, keep your phone uh, side to your laptop and then check how the design is coming in your mobile. Okay, so that is how we can improvise the design and we know how it actually looks in the mobile. Okay, sometimes the font weight and the size could not be matching, or it could have poor contrast ratios, or the text that can be too small in the mobile for us to view, or there can even be inconsistent spacing between text elements. Okay, so these are the common typography mistakes that we could usually commit to. But when it comes to you seeing your work in the Figma mobile, then you have a better idea of how to improve that. How many people are using Figma Mirror now? So okay, if you're not using, and then you can start using that. See the changes, how your designs are improvising. So we can begin with the colors, and how can we maintain the consistency in the design system entirely, how what kind of design guidelines we need to follow, we can see in the next class tomorrow. So far, any doubt in whatever concepts that we have covered today? Okay, I'll just share one takeaway assignment for you to work on. You can just uh, present 2 to 3 interface examples, like which one is good, which one is poor, and which one is mixed with good and poor interface. Okay, you need to explain what works well and why, how could it be improved, and you need to apply the principles that we've discussed today, like uh, based on the things that we just discussed, the hierarchy, visual hierarchy, layout. Okay, so can you do that? Based on the visuals you can explain why it works well and why it doesn't, and what we can do to improve it. Just pick 2 to 3 example screens in the any application. So you need to talk about the visuals only, not about the UX aspect like the functionality. Rather focus on the visuals. You need to present that tomorrow. If you don't have any doubts, then we can see in tomorrow's class. Tutorial on plugins. Yeah, plugins for what are the plugins you can make use of? Maybe I'll just show it to you in tomorrow's class, okay? Jonathan, it is not necessary for you to use Illustrator now to create all the icons. If you want, you can do that. Else, you can just pick from the icon pack which is existing in the Figma community. If you're really interested in creating all the icons for you from scratch, then okay, you can use Illustrator. If you have enough time, you can do that. Obviously it's good to go, whatever works for you. But make sure that you are using in that size itself. You need to follow the design guidelines, like it needs to be in 24 into 24 pixels for the uh, icons. Thank you guys, see you tomorrow.